Okay, so you have just created your budget. You should have these two questions answered at the bottom of your budget page, getting you to think about your budget a little bit more. Now I get to make some choices. And so this is where I kind of start creating my life, and I'm going to come back to these choices every single year. But I'm going to have updates each year, so things are going to change, so my choices may change. So first, I need to pick some housing. And I'm going to go back and look at my budget. I have about $1,100 available in my budget, so I can possibly spend $1,100. Now, something else I need to double check is that my debt was $549, so I'm going to have to pick a loan and pick a monthly payment. So I will do that here in a bit. So let's start with housing. So my housing has about $1,100, so let's see what my options are. You can rent a studio apartment, which is just like a one big room, and everything's included in there. There's not separate rooms, and that's with a roommate. So that means you're paying $600 for your share. A two-bedroom apartment is $900. I can buy a house, which is close to a park, for $1,000 a month, and I can purchase $175,000 in a suburban home. Or I can purchase a bigger home, $250,000, near a golf course. So you may want to go, your gut may be to go with the cheapest, but you also want to think realistically, where would you want to live? If I rent things, I am technically paying money for many years, or however many years I live there, and I don't have any return on that money. But if I buy a house, I can potentially sell it later on. And I'm investing. Now, being a homeowner is a little bit more expensive because you have to pay to maintain that home, so renting is nice in that regard. So what I'm going to do is I think, because I have $1,100, I think I'm going to purchase a home, a small, modest home. I'm going to go for $1,000. So then I have groceries, and I have about $733 to spend on groceries. That's what I have in my budget. Right now, I'm going to assume that I live by myself in this home, and low cost would be $237, moderate cost would be $297. I'm going to eat organic because I want to be healthy, so I'm going to go with a moderate. And I am a female, so I need to pick the female. So female is actually a little cheaper, $254. All right, transportation. You get to read through the different cars. Transportation, I have $549 a month that I have budgeted. So $549. So I could afford a GMC Sierra pickup truck. I don't really want a pickup truck. That's going to cost a lot in gas. That's going to cost $539 a month. And this includes insurance. So I could do a Prius, which has good mileage. But I might go a little cheaper just to be safe. And I think I'm going to go with a Ford Focus. Just because it is a little cheaper. It's $323 a month. So here I had to pick one. If you start noticing this I could pick greater than one. So if you want, you can buy more than one car. I could have bought 2 Nissan Altimas if I wanted to. You kind of pick. And so here it says cell phone plan. So you have to pick one because we're going to assume that in this day of age, everyone's going to have a cell phone plan. And so there is unlimited talk and text. There is unlimited talk, text, and data. So it looks like I'm going to be spending $120. And although there aren't many minute plans anymore, $120 might be accurate for unlimited text, talk, and data. And now these are where I get into optionals. So these things get recorded on pages 3 to 4, and they're deducted from savings. So pretend like in my home, in my beautiful home that I just bought, I need a video game console. So that means I would take $400 out of my savings up front here, because it's a one-time charge. I'm not going to be paying it monthly. I'm just working to save towards that. So I could potentially take some of these things out of my savings to see if I can afford them, and I can put them on there later. So I'm not going to do that right now. This is my first year. I'm going to be careful. It's my first year out on my own. I'll save those for later. Something you do want to consider is your Roth IRA. This is your retirement. You do need to start saving early. So I only have $8,000 in my savings. This Roth is going to take $5,500. I'm not quite ready for that. So maybe at year 2 I can do that, but you definitely want to pay attention to your Roth because you want to be able to retire. And the point of this is to be as close to life as you can so you can kind of learn about what it's going to be like. I don't have any children, so I don't have to worry about childcare right now. Here for my extras, this little symbol right here says pick at least 3. So what tends to happen when we do these budget projects is if kids don't have a lot of money, they're going to say that they will just do without these things. However, things that are not realistic is people may or may not have a TV. People may or may not have internet. So you may have data on your phone, but you may need internet. You do need clothing. So even if you don't have a lot of money, you do need to buy some of these things. So you get to pick greater than or equal to 3. So I am going to pick, I think I would like to have a pet. I have a dog currently, so I'm going to have a pet, and I'm going to name my pet Dexter. I don't have a child, so I'm not going to pick diapers or formula. Clothing, I could buy some money, I could spend some money on clothes each month, so let's say not a lot, $50 on clothing each month. And coffee adds up. If you notice, coffee is $90 a month, so I might avoid that. I'm going to go for internet. So you can pick more than 3 if you want, but I'm going to pick 3. So I've got internet, a dog, because I'm going to have pet care, why not, and clothing. And then these are just other things that happen. So if something happens in one of your updates and you lose your job, you will have to come to this chart for unemployment. And you'll have to pay for health insurance. And here, this kind of just helps you understand the tax rates. Right now, I am making $61,000. $61,000 falls into this bracket. So here I am getting taxed at 28%. That matches exactly what my job card said at the beginning. So as you get older and as you make more and as your family builds, you can see how your tax bracket will change. Again, this is a flat tax. This is approximate. That's not how the actual tax system works. If you want to know more about that, talk to Mr. P. So now I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live my year 1. So I need to work my choices in here from pages 8 to 11 in this actual column. My budget is coming into the projected column. So I need to kind of page back. So my housing choice was $1,000. So I'm going to spend $1,000 each month. My grocery choice was $254. My transportation choice was $323 a month. My debt, so I need to go back to my debt. I need to go back to consolidating my debt. So I need to choose a debt. I need to choose a bank. Well, with 15%, I have $549 that I can spend, and I can afford this $510 a month. I'm going to go for it because 60 months is still a long time, but it's going to be the quickest to pay off. So I'm going to do $510.33. I may have to change that later, but I'm going to do that now. Savings, I'm going to leave that blank because I got to see if I have extra money. My extras, so I need to go back to those extra categories. It's where I picked those 3. So I've got 50, 50, and 40. So that's about 140. So that's what I have for my choices. Anything that I don't spend, I'm going to put into savings. So that's why I'm leaving savings blank, because anything I have left over is going to go into my savings. So I'm going to fill in my projected from my budget, which is on page 7. Yep, my budget's on page 7. So my housing budget was $1099.62. My grocery budget was $733, so I did really well there. My transportation was $549. Your debt, I have $549.81, so that's the same amount. Savings, my budget was $366.54. My extras were $366.54. So I actually had room. I could have bought some more things. But I want to be modest my first year. So I know that all of these projected, I know these add up to my net monthly income because I double checked it down here at the bottom. So I'm going to write $3,665.40. And that is my net monthly income. So I know that works out. So now I've got to start figuring out my differences. I need to see how much money I can actually put in savings, because I can actually put more in savings. So I've got $3,665.40. I'm spending $1,000 on housing, so I'm going to subtract. I'm spending $254 on groceries, $323 on transportation, $510.33 on debt, and $140 on my extras. So I actually have a lot of money that I can put into my savings. So that actually works out in my favor. So I'm going to put that entire amount into savings. So with that, I know that it all adds up to be exactly $3,665.40, because that's where I started. I started at the beginning with my monthly budget, and I subtracted all my expenses. So when I subtract these two items, I end up at 0. And so when I do the difference, to kind of see how I'm sticking to my budget, where am I making money, where am I saving money, and things of that sort, we're doing projected minus the actual. That way the sign of the number reflects how we're doing. So I had anticipated spending $1,099.62 on my housing, but I'm only spending $1,000. So that means I am positive $99.62. So that means I actually saved money on my housing compared to what I thought was going to happen. Same thing with groceries. Start with $733.08. I am only spending $254. So I'm actually saving $479.08. So I'm actually ahead on my groceries. So I'm not behind on anything. So this is year one. Things are looking good. Transportation, I'm going to take $549.81 minus $323. I got one of the, not the cheapest car, but not the most expensive. So I'm saving $226.81. I might be able to upgrade. My debt, $549.81 minus $510.33. So I'm coming out with an extra $39.48. Now my savings is going to look a little goofy because I was only going to do $300, but if you look, I had a lot of money left over, so I'm actually going to look negative on savings, but that's a good thing because that means you're saving more money. So my actual savings is higher than my projected, so this negative here is a good thing. That's helpful to me in the long run because that means I'm putting more money in my savings. And then the extras, I had 366, and I'm minusing 140. So I was pretty modest there. So I have an extra $226.54. So all these differences, if I ended up being even on my budget, which I look like I'm even right here, so that means when I add up all these numbers, I should still be at 0. So if I do 99.62 plus 479.08, so I'm going to add up all these differences. And I'm going to minus this negative, or I'm going to make sure I put in that negative. And I ended up at 0. So I ended up at 0. I know I'm even with my budget, nothing has changed or nothing has gone wrong. So my annual savings, so the amount that was in my savings previously, so I need to come back here to the front. It was $8,500. And then my annual savings, so I'm going to take this $1,000 per month, so 1438.07. And that's just for 1 month. So if I need to figure out how much I'm going to do in a year, I need to multiply that by 12. So I am actually in great shape to start an IRA. In fact, I could even go back if I wanted to. I can adjust all of this and go get myself an IRA if I wanted to, because I have enough money. So, at the end of year 1, I need to take this amount, I need to add it to my original $8,500. So you got to be careful, because if you also had some expenses, you may need to have less than $8,500. Or if you helped people out, you might have more than what you originally started with. So that's what you're tracking here. So right now in my savings, I have $25,756.84. So that is my year 1 of my life. So I'm going to go update. I'm going to go update my savings account. So it's $25,756.84. So this is going to be year 1. And that's $17,000. So here is my savings. That is my year 1. How well are you adhering to your budget? Are you able to keep up with all your bills? Are you able to keep up with all your bills? You're going to have to answer that question. So I was very modest in my year 1. Year 2, I'm going to take a little more risks, and I might need more help. So that's the end of year 1.